All right, to call the Parks Commission meeting to order at, was it 5:02 p.m. And just want to state that this meeting is being recorded via Zoom and a copy can be provided upon request. Just want to acknowledge that we have Jim Castles here, Kayla Berry, and myself, Paul Nowicki. Absent is Scott Tomac and Jacob Schutz. And first on our agenda, we got Becky Ferguson to discuss the Cook Street Park plans and any updates on Russell Field. Becky?
Yeah, I'm over here, and also Amy Coughlin's here, who's the new director of the Community Development Department. So we'll do this together, and maybe we'll introduce the Cook Street, and then we'll go from there.
Sure. For a few years, we've had plans to develop a park at 1 Cook Street. It's a small site of about an acre, I believe. Right now we're getting ready to prepare our annual community development block grant application. It's a federal grant that will hopefully get the park constructed next year. And I believe 4 or 5 years ago, 2017, we received funding through that same grant program to do the actual design and construction documents, which were prepared by Wagner Hodgson. And there's going to be a meeting about the park later at 6 o'clock, which I hope anyone here would attend and listen to the designers, and they're going to talk about just everything that's there. But it's an interesting park design. It's kind of a first for Adams, and it's just kind of a small neighborhood pocket park. It's going to have a dog park area, an off-leash fenced dog park area, which will be a first for the town and a first for, I think you can count the number of dog parks in Berkshire County on one hand, maybe even one finger. I only know of one in, I think, Vermont. So it'll be a first for the area. And then it'll be an interesting park just in that, unlike some of the traditional playgrounds and play areas that we have around town, it'll be sort of a natural play area for children using, rocks and boulders and some of the old ruined structures that are there at the park site. So it's an interesting design. We hope you'll attend the meeting later tonight. And we're also looking for, kind of the showpiece there at the park is, the showpiece at the park is the coal and grain elevator building. We're hoping to apply for funding to look at possibly preserving that building and integrating it into the park, but we're unable to do so this year. So we're exploring different ways to look, next year at getting some designs that'll hopefully make that building a little bit more functional. And then I'll just mention there's a couple of cleanup projects there that are hoping to prep for the project. Those are all funded through EPA. So there's a cleanup going on inside the building. They're removing some debris and also some asbestos, I believe. And then we're hoping to start very, very soon a soil remediation project there at Cook Street that'll remove some coal contaminated soil and also contaminated with fuel oil or gasoline and an underground storage tank. So that'll help kind of prep the site for getting the construction going next year.
I don't have much to add. I do have just an illustrative sketch of the design. And if you can come later, there'll be more sort of details from the designers and engineers. That's generally what it's going to look like. We did go through a sort of committee process with design a couple of years ago. We had a select board member and someone who like a biker and a rail trail user. We had somebody from the Historic Commission, and we had somebody from Berkshire Scenic all on the committee. We met a number of times, and so they helped sort of conceive some of these ideas for the park. And I can't think of anything else to add unless you guys have questions.
Looks good.
Nice, this is exciting.
Yeah, it'll be, I think, really fun if we get it designed. And then, so if there are no questions about that, I'm happy to also do a little update on Russell Field.
Sure.
So the tennis courts are done and open. We're working on adjusting the net height because we've got some feedback from players that they would like that adjusted a little bit. So we're working on that. The contractor is going to come back the end of the month and reseed and fertilize again and put the plates down on the softball field and clean everything up and really do all the last pieces. And so we anticipate after that's done, we can wrap it up pretty good. It'll take a little while for that second layer of seed to come in. So we want to leave it at least a few weeks after that before anybody gets on it. But that's the schedule.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you very much.
thank you guys.
Becky, will the field be ready for spring use?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely.
Has anybody looked at the paintball or spray painting or whatever is going on down there
Where's that?
at Russell Field?
Middle or both?
The door going into the storage shed has been peppered.
Oh, really?
It's been like that for probably a month now.
Yeah, the light level stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if they were paintballs or what it was, but
Yeah.
And then I don't know if they got peg signed to the right of it or not as well too, but they definitely. And then is the town done, I know they're waiting to replant the grass and do different things, but sometimes I see very minimal upkeep over there at this point in time from the town. The grass is getting real high in a lot of places
We've been going.
around the border of the fence and where the stands are behind the storage building, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think that, the town's taken over from the contractor for mowing. And I know that Steve's been out there doing stuff. I think in general, because it's not officially open, it's also kind of not officially closed because it's really hard to fence off the entire site. So you see people with their dogs, occasionally, that sort of thing. But since it's not really officially
Occasionally.
open,
We're not supposed to be.
I don't think that our level of care has probably been what it will be
Yeah.
once we, get it all handed over to the contractor.
Do you know the last time that they seeded and fertilized?
They did it in the spring. I know that they were going to do another fertilization, but I think that's the one that's coming up in a few weeks.
So it was a couple months ago. It was in the spring and the next one's scheduled for end of August.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about it when football wants to use the field in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much. Any questions, anyone? Okay.
We have another meeting next door, like Eamon said, so we may leave before you guys are done, so don't think we're rude.
All right, next up, approval of the minutes from July 12th meeting. Guys get a chance to get those.
Are we going to require everyone to be here that are members of or can they still zoom in?
I still zoom in at the present.
If need be.
Okay. Because at this point, we just had three
I know.
people here.
And Scott told us ahead of time he was going to be out of town.
Yeah.
He gave us an email.
Oh, no. I'm not concerned about the reason why they're not here. I just want you to be aware. If you need to get a quorum, you can.
Yeah.
You can get Schutze
Yeah, we tried.
What's
We tried to get Jake, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty good movie.
I'm surprised it's, he hasn't been on in a couple meetings.
Yeah, I haven't seen
All right, for a motion to accept the minutes?
Motion to accept?
Second.
And I'll second
Okay, all in favor?
it. Aye.
it.
Okay, unanimous. Minutes approved. Old business. Okay, general discussion, topic youth football league at Russell Field. Update, walkthrough at field with Mike Mucci and Tim Coder would like to be part of the walkthrough when field is given clearance to open. Steve Scroggy to advise.
Been involved with, just over here, so you can actually see. I've been involved with youth football for both the youth and the high school for about 10 years. Currently president and director of the youth. And we've had conversations with this board in the spring about our intentions to use Russell Field in the fall for football, the same way that we have for more than the past 10 years. And based on the grass not growing well, the last attempt to seed sometime in the spring, I walked the field with Mr. Scroggy, and the grass isn't as great as it could be. Certainly open for discussion, but in my opinion, I think the field is good enough for us to go up there and practice this year. We'd be willing to make some concessions with amount of days and kind of a rotation of around the field where we would do different drills and different things to try and minimize overuse in certain areas. But excuse me, the problem we have with youth football is if we don't use that field, it's the widest field, and football has practices at night and continues into the fall, and we really need use of the lights. So that's been kind of our mainstay for a long time. And without it, I don't know how we have youth football this year without being on that field.
Are there any other fields that could be used for practice?
None that I'm aware of.
How many kids you got for the seniors?
So we have, it's under 40, numbers are down a little bit. We have just under 20 for juniors and just under 20 for seniors.
So you got 40 for both
We
teams?
have 40 from both. I've talked to the coaches, I put them the application Monday through Friday. What we'd like to do is 3 nights a week and try and break it up to some different nights and try and not get everyone on there at the same time.
Instead of every night? Yeah.
Instead of every night. No,
That's a good,
no Monday, no Friday. We might try and do some Saturdays. We may try and mix it up. Save those for rain days. There's some newer, better grass, but it's kind of a tight area.
yeah, right, what, very sure.
The new play set, but it's not wide enough to actually run plays. But I think if we make a concerted effort to do one-on-one drills and different drills that we can do in different corners, and I really work with the coaches to make sure that we're actually doing it, I think we can minimize our impact up there.
That's what I'm more concerned with, yeah. Oh, yeah, how about both fields, you're looking at,
I didn't go look at football field as far as I know. I've never seen anyone practice there. I'm unfamiliar with both field.
all right. I can meet somebody there tomorrow. But I'd have to turn all the lights on and see what it is there, lighting.
And we'd like to stay right in the center of town. If you want
Yeah,
to still go look at both field, we can. But, so in an effort to try and buy some more time, we're practicing the next 2 weeks up at high school.
correct.
We have all our levels up there. We have